part of our program is everybody's favorite oftentimes. It is the senior student speaker. It's important for our audience to know that the senior student speaker is chosen by his classmates, and I'm very happy to say that this year's speaker is Patrick Wyeth.
Good morning. Welcome, fellow students, teachers, friends, and family members, and thank you for gathering here today to recognize and commemorate Cape Cod Academy's class of 2015. I understand that I have some big shoes to fill, being the successor to the infamous Jack Keynesian, but I am up for the challenge. Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody who's helped me along the way, most notably my parents, putting up with me for 17 years. I'd like to thank the incredible faculty here at CCA. I learned a lot of things throughout my 4 years here, and it is safe to say that without your professionalism, enthusiasm, and at times your ability to keep me under control, I'd never be where I am today. But as much as I'd love to praise you all, this day is solely about these 25 individuals sitting in front of me. To give you an idea of just how unique and remarkable this group of people is, I want to share with you some facts about the class of 2015. For one, our grade is extremely diverse. We represent over 10 different nationalities, including Chinese, Japanese, Irish, Lebanese, German, French-Canadian, English, Tibetan, and Haitian. We also have the shortest person in the high school, Emmy Sai, flying in at 4'9", and the tallest, Big Will, hustling in at 6'6". We're also the most athletic grade. We can boast the MVP of the Cape and Islands Basketball League, an undefeated record in boys tug of war, 7 Cape and Islands All-Stars, and the #1 tennis player in Massachusetts, Kevin Pan. We also flourish in the extracurricular activities as well. We have a member in the All-State Chorus, 2 members in the All-State Jazz Chorus, the only person on Cape Cod that can play the air hoop instrument, and the #1 Vine impersonator in the country, Jack Nassari. For those of you wondering, what about academics? Well, we are 3 people in the 99th percentile for SAT scores, 1 of only 2 people in CCA history to be accepted to Bowdoin College, and the 3rd person in school history will be attending a college in Scotland, Will O'Connor, who is enrolled at the University of Glasgow. I could brag about this grade all day, but I'm here to share with you some of my favorite memories and anecdotes from my 4 years at CCA, and to enlighten you on what it is like to go through a day as a member of the class of 2015. I arrive at school typically around 7:45, parking as far away from Katie and Emily Nuss as possible for safety precautions. I walk into senior corner. As usual, the 3 couples are taking up all the space on the couches, so I go up to senior table, where Cam is posting an Instagram photo of the sunrise. Calm down. And Emma is drinking her 64-ounce Starbucks cappuccino. I see Lewis eating yet another ham and egg sandwich while he frantically tries to finish his statistics lab. That was due the previous week. I take the treacherous walk to the other side of campus for advisory, purposely going around the science building rather than through it, so Mr. Carr does not catch me for not wearing a collar. Shout out to all the Carr. An advisory meeting, Deal's bragging about some college he got into in Wyoming, and he's trying to convince everybody that the Minnesota Timberwolves are the best team in the NBA. And Henry is begging Mr. Kenny to define terms that are going to be on his contemporary issues quiz, despite the fact he has a study guide right in his hand. I head off to English, where I have the honor of getting to sit behind Becky, whose unique hairstyles leave everyone in amazement. One day she has the coolest looking dreadlocks, the next perfectly braided cornrows. It's truly fascinating. Katie strolls in 5 minutes late as usual, but puts on a big smile that makes everyone impossible to get mad at her. I meet up with Johnny to walk to calculus. Every day he walks in and slaps 4 orange juice cartons on Mr. Sears' desk, hoping that maybe Mr. Sears will give him a better grade if he becomes his designated orange juice supplier. It doesn't work. While we are all struggling, Ruby, or should I say Tong, manages to get an A on every single test, leaving the rest of the classmates in a demoralized state of mind. Now it's time for AP Chemistry, where the work is so difficult, even Emmy is known to lose her cool. Ms. Hall reassures us that we'll do fine, but like calculus, the challenging work leaves the entire class in a disheartened state. I look to Jack for some assistance, but he's too busy memorizing the lyrics of the latest Nicki Minaj single and organizing a manhunt in search of his most recent Instagram unfollower. On my way back to the Commons, I passed by AP Bio, where JoJo is ripping the heart out of her fetal pig in the lab, just as she does to every one of her opponents on the lacrosse field. And Lewis is once again petitioning Mr. Mott for an extension on his lab report, a project he will somehow manage to get an A on, despite doing the entire thing the day it is due. At break, Katie confidently and successfully gets the whole school's attention, not an easy task to do, and begins the morning meeting. Cam and Emma walk up and make college announcements, a time that is normally dominated by Emmy's numerous acceptances to colleges the rest of us don't stand a chance at getting into. And yes, more schools west of the Mississippi for Mr. Longstaff. Break is usually composed of last-minute study session crams for the upcoming econ test, brief Crossy Road tournaments, Henry pulling my leg hair, and a very heated debate between Emily Nuss and I about whether horseback riding is a sport or not. Morning meeting ends, and I go back to senior corner before my next class. On my way to French, I see Lily, and I say, "Good morning." That's all I'm able to say before Johnny tackles me like a guard dog, questioning my motives. While the class is settling in, JoJo and Emma are on their computers searching for perfect prom dresses. They began looking at dresses in September, but still haven't made their decision, with prom a month away. Once Miss Oliver gets up to start teaching, the computers go away, and a tour de monde, a game testing our knowledge of the current chapter's vocabulary words, begins. While meant to be lighthearted and educational, these games end up turning into a bloodbath between Ned, Lewis, and I over who is victorious. After breaking the 100-meter dash in order to avoid getting a detention for being late to Miss Augustinelli's economics class, I stumble into the room ready to take the test. Nathan is dripping in sweat, not because he's nervous, but because his penchant for fashion has left him wearing 5 extravagant layers of clothes. At lunch, Will immediately rushes to the front of the Chinese food line, demanding that he be served immediately, or else he will sue to the full extent of the law. Emily, Brady, Simon, and Rosie return to their usual spot on the couches, only to find that Johnny, Willie, and Jack have stolen it, and they head for senior table in dismay. Cam joins Jack, Willie, and Johnny, and the 4 beginning their next Instagram photo shoot because they're trying to get mad followers and hella likes. I then approach Amelia, who is on track to become the world's most passionate feminist since Susan B. Anthony, and I beg her to have her mom open up a bakery in Alshaville in which she will sell her sensational baked goods, including her world-famous magic bars. Study hall consists of a variety of different things for the guys. After studying and doing homework for the majority, we spend the remainder of the period doing everything sports-related. We have played baseball with rulers and tennis balls, organized pickup football games in the parking lot, played basketball with trash cans and beach balls, held intense volleyball tournaments, and watched March Madness on the projector in the library. I look over at Emily Brady, who is actually studying after finally reclaiming her seat in the corner. She would obviously rather be singing at a charity event or saving baby turtles off the coast of Madagascar, but is instead forced by society to spend her time held back by the rest of us. Near her sits Melly, who for all we know is plotting to take over the world and destroy mankind. Ned's mom comes into senior corner, telling Ned that maybe if he spent as much time studying for calculus as he did referencing random SpongeBob episodes, he might be doing better in the class. Poor Tenzin, the nicest person in the grade, walks around aimlessly, having suffered through months of trying to get everyone to complete their senior pages for the yearbook. The original due date was in December, and the majority of us submitted ours just last week. Sai Ming asked me in the most polite and sweet voice you can ever imagine to donate books to a charity, but fails to realize that I don't read for pleasure, and that Lewis is more likely to take notes in class than I am to find a lone book lying around at my house. Ruby is sitting at senior table, drawing the most complex and detailed picture of an elephant you will ever see, and is talking to Jasmine, who is somehow able to achieve amazing grades and get into highly selected colleges, even though she's nowhere to be found 6 out of the 7 hours of the day. The final bell rings and the day ends. Rosie, who without a doubt had the most clutch catch in Spirit Week dodgeball history, heads to the ice rink to practice figure skating, and I return home exhausted. I sit down at the living room table to take a fruitless crack at the calculus homework. 1 hour later, with nothing but the heading on my paper, I get a text from Johnny saying that if I don't proofread his English paper right that second, he is ending our relationship as friends and will never talk to me again. He's being 100% serious. By the time I'm finished, it's midnight, and I go up to bed to go to sleep. As I close my eyes, I hear my phone buzz. I look over. There it is again. Snapchat from KMEG1234. All the more reason to go to bed. And there you have it, just another average day for the class of 2015. Without a doubt, one of the most iconic, unique, and bizarre classes to come out of this school. Being a member of this special group of people for 4 years, I've had a chance to develop my own distinct relationship with nearly every individual in the grade. In fact, the people I thought I would never approach and become friends with have actually proven to be the most genuine and fun people to be around. The sarcastic ones like Johnny, the professional procrastinators like Lewis, the shy, independent workers like Nathan, or even Big Will, who I'm simply just afraid of, are all compelling and interesting people if you get to know them well, and have definitely become some of my favorite people to spend time with. Take Emmy, for example. If you told me freshman year that Emmy would be one of my favorite people in the grade by the time I graduate, I would have called you crazy. Turns out, however, that inside that little body is a fire that rages harder than any person in the school, and a sense of humor that belongs to a world-class comedian. I believe that this is one of the greatest features of CCA. It forces you to take a step outside your comfort zone and create relationships with people you wouldn't normally expect to. If I had gone to public school, the probability of me becoming close friends with a person like Tenzin or Nathan is equivalent to a probability of Big Will wearing something other than white collared shirt and shorts to school every day. But here at CCA, I am naturally urged to confidently approach people like Tenzin and Nathan, and I build unsuspecting, strong connections with each one. That is the biggest piece of advice that I can give to the rest of the students. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and create new friendships. You'll be surprised at what you actually will learn through this. For instance, Emily Brady has made me realize that hard work will always pay off in the end. Lewis has taught me to be careful who I loan money to. Ruby has taught me that brushing your teeth during school is normal. Becky, who aspires to be president of Haiti, has conveyed the importance of never letting go of your dreams. And Big Will has showed me to not care what others think about you. Keep doing you, Big Will. My parents always told me that my teenage years would be the best years of my life. They lied. High school was difficult, meeting deadlines is a challenge, and mustering up the strength to do homework on a Sunday night when you just want to watch TV is excruciating. But pain is temporary and pride lasts forever. When you are done with school and you are sitting in the same row of chairs as this year's graduates, you should feel proud of what you've done. To put this simply, make the most of your time at CCA. Don't play baseball with rulers and tennis balls in study hall. Take risks. Don't be afraid to try something new and take a shot at something you've never done before. If it doesn't pay off, you have still learned from the experience, or at least become a horrible example to others, like I am right now giving this speech. Last but not least, I encourage you all to give back. CCA is an amazing school and does an extraordinary job preparing us all for bright futures. Parents, I know you can save a lot of money by sending your kid to public school down the street, but I'm here to tell you that CCA is worth every penny. It opens new doors into students' lives, and not only gives them a high-quality education with a challenging and intriguing curriculum, but it teaches them lifelong skills that they can carry with them wherever they go. This is something that public schools cannot offer. And to my fellow students, you don't have to get 4.0s or perfect SAT scores. What the school values most from you is to keep your promise to value the school's honor code and be the best student you can be. Also, just saying a simple thank you to a teacher as you pass by them, or hello to an unfamiliar face in the hallway can go a long way. I want to wish CCA the best of luck, especially Mr. Trigg. I'm confident he will guide the school in the right direction, making each year more promising and successful than the one before. I will miss my years spent being a member of CCA's class of 2015. There have been so many great memories, funny moments, and inside jokes that will stay with me all throughout college and hopefully the rest of my life. Eventually, I want to come back here for my 5th, 10th, and way down the road, even 25th year reunion with the class. And I can't wait to see what everyone has accomplished by those milestones. I can say with complete certainty that every single person in this class has big dreams, and they won't stop chasing them. Whether it is Becky, who wants to be president of Haiti, Kenton, who wants to be a nurse, Emily, who wants to have her own show on the Discovery Channel, Rosie, who wants to become fluent in Russian, or Emma, who wants to be an elementary school teacher, I'm fully confident that they can achieve their dreams, because with the CCA education as your foundation, you can write your own ticket. For students still attending CCA, I want to wish you the best of luck for however many years you have remaining. I will forever be grateful to CCA, and I hope that you will too by learning to appreciate how much effort the school puts in on your behalf. As for my grade, you are an awesome group of people, and I am positive that you will do great things and be remembered as one of the greatest classes to graduate from Cape Cod Academy. And wherever I may be, studying in college, raising a family, or in China playing tennis with Kevin Pan, you guys will forever be important to me, and I will always be here for you. Thank you.